tell me about this book. It's a children's book. You wrote it. Your mom illustrated it. Tell our viewers what it's about.
Yeah, this book is a sequel. It's kind of a follow-up to our first one, which was Marlon Bundo's Day in the Life of the Vice President, that kind of had my bunny following my dad around on a typical day as Vice President. So this one was really started out to be really educational about DC and our nation's capital, and then kind of transitioned into more of a story about the Pledge of Allegiance and kind of the values and freedoms that we have in this country.
Right, and first of all, Marlon Bundo is a real pet. This is not a fictional character, correct?
Yes, he's real, and he has his own Instagram account, and he has much more followers than I do.
which is very, very funny. So in his adventures in this book, and I have this book right here, by the way. I've read this book. It's really cute, Charlotte. He visits the monuments in Washington, D.C. How did you pick where he visited, and what do you hope children will learn from his adventures?
Yeah, actually, it was kind of difficult to choose which ones he was going to visit, and we had a couple that we ended up not doing. And that was kind of, we wanted to do it so that it made sense geographically, actually, that he would start at the Naval Observatory where he lives with my parents, and then that he would end up at Arlington National Cemetery. And so I think one of the most important things I really want kids to learn is that our country was founded on a lot of freedoms, including, religious liberty and other freedoms that we really have our military members and their families to thank for. And so we actually dedicated the book to military members and their families, because Marlon ends up at the Arlington National Cemetery where he realizes that all of these values that we hold dear in this country are really owed to those people.
Right, which I think, as coming from a military family myself, I appreciate that, because I feel like a lot of people take it for granted. But I assume you visited these monuments yourself as, you wrote this book, as you put it together. And I think it's something that we've all done. But doing this again as an adult, what was something that about, any of the particular monuments that surprised you, or that you hadn't noticed or learned about the first time you visited?
Yeah, we actually did go around to all of the different monuments, memorials that we ended up using. So that was a really fun day. My mom and I actually took a little stuffed bunny rabbit around with us so that we could kind of stage him for my mom to do the illustrations. Actually, one of the most interesting things I learned was about Arlington National Cemetery, and the fact about it that I included in the back of the book that has resources for kids and teachers to kind of learn more about the monuments, was that in Arlington National Cemetery, it actually has servicemen and women from every U.S. war buried there. And I don't think I realized that or remembered it, and so it just ends up being an even more special place to include in the book.